or we just feel excited as ladies. Today we are celebrating belated Mother's Day. I want to welcome all of us and even the gentlemen who are joining us this afternoon. Today we are focusing on ladies, so you may not see much of the gentlemen, but I want to welcome all of us on this call. And I believe that we are going to have a very exciting time. We have a panel of friends. We have the three of us who are going to take you through the session. It's not going to be a normal session where we share slides. We are just going to share our stories, unless the other speakers have decided to use their slides. Myself, I'm going to just give you my story. Today is storytelling. Today we want to talk about, women, we like talking about stories. So we are going to give you, I'm going to start by giving you my story. So karibuni sana. I want to introduce myself. My name is Ngao. And I'm a wife. I'm married to Ngao Mangati, and we are blessed with two young adults. Now they are they are grown-ups. How did I get connected to this organization? 17 years ago, before I had been working with a bank. I worked with a bank for around 17 years. Actually, today it's called Absa. It was called Barclays then. And after having worked for around 17 years, we went through what we call conversion. And conversion is like computerization. So after going through conversion, I happened to be invited to participate in the conversion. I thought I was actually bettering my life. And little did I know that after you finish some good work, you are promoted. And I realized that there are several types of promotions. So Ngao, I was there. I used to, as a mother with young children, my firstborn was 7 years, and my lastborn was 4 years. I used to sacrifice a lot of time. I don't know you mothers, whether you know that at that tender age, the children need you. So after I used to wake up, I remember very early in the morning at around 4 a.m. because at 5 I was expected to be in the office to start off the systems. And then because we had to verify that the system is working, I used to leave the office between 11 in the night, maybe arrive home at around midnight. And you can agree with me that those children were never mine. I was depending on my house help to take care of my children. And the challenges that I had as a mother was that these children were always sick. They were always in hospital because I was not in control of the lifestyle they were having. I could not see them most of the time. And there are times I used to miss my children, Parker. I could call my house help and tell them, please make sure that those children don't sleep because I've been away from them for some time, days in, day out, and I need to see them. So you can imagine the kind of sacrifice as a mother. So after having gone through the process and we were successful, what happened is that we were invited to be informed that now the system is standing and everything is running smoothly. And at that particular time, that was, I remember, in 2002, I was invited by my boss. There were two bosses. They came to the office one evening and they invited us. They started inviting one by one. And when it came to my turn, I was invited and I thought maybe this is exciting news. And you can be sure that I was prepared to get excited. But after having been congratulated for the work well done, I was told, unfortunately, Anne, we want to tell you that some jobs have to fall off because now the computer it will do most of the work. And unfortunately, you are one of the people that are going to go home on retrenchment. At that particular time, I entered into shock because I was wondering, after having sacrificed all the time for my family, after giving in, everything for the system to work, is this the reward that I can be given? And you can be sure I was so desperate. I started crying. I was in depression. I don't know that you have ever received bad news and you get confused really what to do. So at that particular time when I was really crying and I was depressed, My husband saw me in a desperate moment. He could not console me. He just decided to buy me a book. And this book was called Who Moved My Cheese? It talks about change. So, and I want to tell you that, we had been told now to hand over our desk and our work to other, younger generation. I remember I handed over the work, but I never stopped going to the office. I want you to imagine, I never stopped going to the office for almost 1 month, wondering what am I going to do next. But when my husband gave me that book, I sat down, I composed myself, I read through the book. Imagine in 1 day, I read the whole book. And the book spoke to me so well about the change. And I want to encourage everybody here that you need to read that book. If changes are, everybody must go through some change. And sometimes change is not comfortable. So when I realized that my cheese had moved, I went and told my boss, now, tomorrow you will not see me, I'm ready to leave. And I think when you are ready, God appears. So a friend of mine called me for, a cup of coffee. And I'll always be very grateful to this lady because she told me that, Anne, come, we take some tea together. I was not in a mood of taking tea, but I went. When I went, we sat down. It's a place called Speacial, those people who are know Nairobi. And when we were seated in that coffee place, I told Judy, I just want to know how I can make 10,000 shillings. Why did I want to make 10,000 shillings? I wanted to make 10,000 shillings because I had young children. I had never learned how to be a housewife who depends on their husband completely. My parents were depending on me because they were old and they were having challenges, high blood pressure. My mother had high blood pressure. My father had arthritis. And at that age, they actually had to attend clinics, live on medication. And being a firstborn, I had to do that work. And when I told Judy, if I can be able to make 10,000 shillings, I think it can, take care of my needs. It can give me some financial freedom. I wouldn't have to depend on my husband for 100%. I thank God that Judy understood me. Why did she understand me? Because we were coming from this as a common background. She was also my colleague who had seen, I always say, Aliona Muvua. She saw that it was going to rain and she saw retrenchment coming and she decided, I will not wait until I'm told to go. Let me go early. So I always say that she became John the Baptist who went out there and prepared a way for us. And I thank God. I really thank God for Judy. I will forever be grateful to her. She's told me, Anne, if you are willing, I'm ready to hold your hand. I'm ready to help you. Talk about women. Women are always willing and they sympathize and they empathize with the fellow women. So she told me, Anne, if you are willing to get started with the business I have been doing for the last 1 year, I'm ready to hold your hand. And I thank God I was able to listen to her. I didn't understand what I was getting into, but one thing I'm grateful to God that He gave me the strength to get started. So it has been a very exciting journey for the last now 21 years. My life has been about new life. It has given me a lot of, good things have happened in my life. My children are now in very good health. They are now adults. They have gone to school. My parents were excited about the changes that were happening to me because now I introduced to them some nice, good supplements. My children who are always sick now, they started becoming strong and better. My husband was excited because now I started bringing in new lifestyle because this company has given us such a wonderful lifestyle and somebody is going to talk about it. And I became a very different person. So I've enjoyed personal development. I am a person who can now talk to people. I can educate people. I can make a difference in somebody's life. Another thing this business has given me, when I joined, I was actually overweight and I didn't know that I was sick. But what I can remember that I used to experience palpitations whenever I'm walking. I could not walk up the stairs because I was weighing over 90 kilos and I'm 5 feet, you can imagine. I'm so short and I was carrying a lot of kilos. So my friend told me, Anne, we cannot look for money if your health is wanting. So she told me we must do something about your your weight. And she helped me to go on a program. I changed my lifestyle, the way I eat. I started changing, monitoring the portions of food that, we are supposed to be eating. And in 1 month, I had lost 10 kilos. And that's how I got a story to tell somebody about our business. So when I got my story together, I started sharing my story with my friends. And everybody who had my story wanted to do what I did. And that's how I started making money. The little 10,000 started coming in form of profits. And within a very short time, I started building a network. And this network grew. In only 4 months, I became a director. And my life did not change completely from what the lifestyle I had in the bank. It became even better. Another thing I remember is that in the bank, we used to be recognized for the wrong things we have done. But in your life, I've received a lot of recognition. When you do something small in this organization, you are recognized. If you make small steps, you get recognized like small babies. And my self-esteem has gone up, and I'm very excited for who I have become today. I'm able even to make a difference in somebody's life. I remember some other ladies who were desperate because their children could not go to school because of lack of money, lack of finances. I was able to support them. They educated their children, and that story will never, never change. Another thing is that I've now started enjoying my life because I know that life is not about work, work, work. As women, we always do a lot of work. We always, we engage ourselves in a way that we forget about ourselves. But New Life teaches us to live a balanced life. So in New Life now, we are able to live a balanced life. I've been able to travel to various destinations. I had never been inside of an aeroplane, but I've been able to travel to South Africa several times, to America, to UK, to Dubai, all the places I've ever been. And I'm excited that now I can mix with new friends who are, empowering each other. And another thing, at my level 6, what happens that sometimes you find yourself very lonely because when you leave work, you lose all your friends because your culture has changed. But I thank God that I'm in a community of people who are very positive. We are going somewhere together. We all enjoy making a difference in people's lives. We are positive living, and we are excited about, our future. We are not scared that tomorrow will be irrelevant in the society. We are wonderful people now, and as we are sharing women's stories, you can be sure that we are going to learn from each one of us. Everybody has a story to tell, and I don't want to continue talking because of time. I want to invite my second speaker so that you can hear more stories. And this lady I'm going to invite is very special to me. She is a doctor. And when I was growing up, I wanted to be a doctor, but I did not pass well in my education. But I am glad that we are able to do business together with even our colleagues, our doctors, our teachers, and everybody. We are all equal. And I thank God that New Life has actually transformed my life completely. So without much ado, I want to welcome Dr. Eseza, who is a wonderful doctor. She'll give us her story. She has such a beautiful story, and you can't wait. Just sit there, wait, listen. If you need be, please bring a notebook, because being a doctor, she's going to educate us, and she'll give us her story of what has happened ever since she got started. Karibu sana daktari, and she's coming all the way from South Africa. Karibu sana.
Asante sana, Anne. I would have loved to be in the same room as you. I think the last time was when I came to Nairobi and we had a presentation. Thank you. And thank you, Fred, for this platform. And of course, we have to thank Lydia as well. Okay, as you've heard, my name is Eseza Nambassi. I am a mother. I'm also a grandmother. I'm a wife, obviously. That came before all the mothering and grandmothering happened. But before that, I graduated as a doctor from the university in Uganda, a very good medical school. It was actually very famous. And before that, I did my O-level and A-level in Kenya. So I have very strong ties with Kenya, and I've got very good friends in Kenya, and many of them live in Nairobi. I wish all of you could get in touch with them and shake them up and say, hey, come and do what your sister is doing. But be that as it may, I was always passionate about health, good health. And everybody was listening to this little girl who wants to have the whole world healthy and happy, and, you know, everybody to be not falling sick. That was my dream, right? And it was a bit of an idealistic dream. So they thought to themselves, whoever, people in authority, they're also called parents and society and community, that, okay, go to medical school, because look, your grades are like this, and we need doctors, and you will be very good for medical school. You'll come out and serve community. And I kicked and screamed. Those of you who might have known me then know that I really put up a good fight. I think I saw my sister on the call. She would tell you the story. But eventually, I decided to obey, because all of you who are on this call might from time to time read the Bible. In the Bible, one of the commandments, it's commandment number 5 of the 10 commandments, tells us, honor your father and your mother so that your days may be long on this earth. And you know, that made me sit up after I had tried to kick and scream. And I said, okay, fine. I literally surrendered. And so from trying to fail at medical school, I tried to fail. I just turned around and decided to pass. And so I went through medical school, and that phase didn't last very long of trying to fail, just the first few months of first year. Then when I decided, okay, switched on and cruised, literally cruised through medical school without a supplementary, and out I came at the other end. And I saw God's hand on me, that He is the one who directed me to go there. Because I got there and I saw everything that have now given me a very strong case for what we are doing in Near Life. But I didn't find Near Life immediately. I was educated in Uganda, and Uganda has had a few wars. So a war broke out and we had to leave. And we left, my husband, my sister, and myself. We left and settled in Zambia and worked and lived happily. I had my first baby in Zambia. Still, I was looking for how can I do health well, and I kept on looking and looking and looking. I was always quite a disruptor. And then we moved from Zambia to South Africa. By then, we're talking quite a long time ago, but still I didn't know anything about Near Life, and settled in a little village, worked very hard as doctors. And then my husband too is a doctor. And then just as South Africa's politics were changing, as liberation was coming and it was on the horizon, we decided to move to a bigger city called East London. And it was in East London that, you know, when you move into a new place, you start looking for places to settle, where the kids will go to school. At that stage, I had 2 children, and they were both quite young, and a church to attend. So it was at a church meeting that somebody picked up my name. And you know, you're sitting, new members, and obviously you introduce yourself and there's a register. And so I was an easy pick. But what I didn't know was that by that lady picking up my name and handing it to her upline, it would change the rest of my life. And it really did. So a few days later, after that meeting, I received a phone call and somebody said, if I were to show you a way to make an extra income, would you have a look? And I said to him, he introduced himself, obviously. I said, yeah, but what is it, you know? My husband and I are quite busy. We have little children and we work hard, but yeah, I'll have a look. So he said, okay, fine. When can I come round and see you? And then he looked in his diary and said, is Tuesday evening all right? So I said to him, yeah, it's fine. We are not on call and I'll make sure my husband is with me. So he came. Now, what he did was quite a lesson to me. He walked in and, you know, two people were sitting, waiting to be shown how to make extra money. And his first question was, after all the greetings, what is your dream? And I said, hey, what has a dream got to do with making money? But it has everything, everything. So I want to encourage all of you to identify what your dream is, why you would need to do something different or something extra. Anyway, that question triggered my past dreams, the dreams I had when I was little. And one of them was to travel. Oh, I love to travel. I remember as a little girl, I would see a plane flying and I would look up in the sky until the plane vanished. So travel was one dream. But now I was a mother of two, a wife, working hard, coming back frustrated because my dream of seeing healthy people was not happening. Whenever I went to work, all I saw around me were sick people and even sicker people and people who were obese. I remember in the hospital, I tried to get people to start exercising and to start eating sensibly, and I got laughed at. I was laughed at so much by the consultant. He said, forget it. These people will never change. Anyway, that didn't stop me from dreaming. That didn't stop me from pursuing what I believe God had put in my heart, which was for health, to have people to be healthy. So, yeah, we talked about our dreams. Then he said, okay, fine. On a Thursday, he gave us a Thursday, come dressed smartly for a business presentation. So off we went, the two of us, my husband in a nice jacket, you know, business looking like. I dressed up business as well. And when we got there, there was a huge display. So what I didn't tell you was that I had been looking for non-toxic cleaning products because I had figured that the toxins we were buying from the shops were the reason my little girl, the older one, kept on manifesting symptoms of hay fever. So I had chopped and changed washing powder, changed all the cleaning products, kept on changing things and nothing was changing. So walk into this room and there's this huge display with cleaning products on it. And I said, what? And so the presenter started his presentation, non-toxic, 100% biodegradable. They are so economical, you're going to save money. And then after that, that money you're going to invest into your health. And I learned all that in one evening. And in that one evening, I just told my husband, I jabbed him in the ribs and I said, I am signing on this line. And moreover, we are starting this together. Where have you had an opportunity where a couple can do together? So he said, but you wanted the business. I said, yeah, but I'm an African woman. Your name goes first, sir, because we never say Mrs. and Mr. We always say Mr. and Mrs. So wrote down his name and off we went. So I was so excited. The first thing I did was to take leave, 2 days leave, to launch my business. And what did I mean by launching my business? Ladies and gentlemen, I threw out all the cleaning products I had bought from the supermarket, threw them out. Made a long list of what I needed, and it wasn't as long as what I was throwing out, all the bar soaps and all those other sprays and polishes. But I made my list, and in one swoop, all the Neolife cleaning products were introduced to my house. And then for the next few months, I spent time learning how these products work. And I was convinced, I convinced myself first. After that, I couldn't stop talking. So a few months later, the president of Neolife came to, by then it was GNLD, came to East London. And I remember distinctly, there was an event, you might all remember him, Mr. Roger Ace, an event at a hotel. And I went up to him very boldly and said, Roger, this is my name, and I was born in Uganda. I can tell you, if we take this business to Uganda, it will spread to Kenya, it will spread to Tanzania, it will go down to Rwanda, it will go round to Burundi and Congo and Sudan and all the surrounding countries. So he thought, this woman is a bit crazy, but anyway. So he gave me his card and said, young lady, if you have any more bright ideas, here's my card, give me a call. All right, so that was sort of like a rejection, but never mind. Next, I said, okay, my president's team. I wasn't even going to go to the upline. I went straight to the president's team member. You all know him, Mike Fandia-Venter. And I said, Mike, and I repeated the story. If we take this to Uganda, it will spread to Kenya and all those stories. So he said, hey, I've never been there before. I said, I know, that's why I'm telling you this. And then I said to him, Mike, okay, let's make a deal. I will go ahead of you. I will clear the way. I know those people. And I even went to school in Kenya. I know the people in Kenya will grab this opportunity. Let us go. Then we made plans. Meanwhile, I had actually got a downline in Uganda, but there were no products. They just signed up. I got a few downlines in South Africa. And it was through those ones that we were working to get everything started in Uganda. So took Mike, got started. Mike thought he would come and talk to 2 or 3 people, and then he would go back. He was shocked. The first meeting, I think there were easily over 200 people in a hotel, you know? And so that's how it got started. In a very short time, the company saw that it was the right thing to do to open up, and one can say the rest is history. So right now, what I'm doing is building people's knowledge. I have a program that I call Applied Neolife. So I'm fast forwarding so that I don't hog all the time. Applied Neolife. You know, I just realized that I could marry my knowledge of medical concepts with my passion and love for health and wellness with what we have in Neolife, which is phenomenal. I teach people how to, what I call, connect the dots. And over the months and years, I started that concept in earnest around about 2016. When I realized that, yeah, people are just buying nutrition supplements and then running off to the shop to buy their soap. I started teaching people that, did you know that if you don't change your washing powder, there's no way you'll ever lose weight. And there's no way your arthritis will disappear because of your overweight. And as a result, you will develop diabetes because of the challenges of your health. So start at the beginning, lady. And I like to talk to ladies. Start at the beginning. Do things logically. Remove the toxins. And then save the money and invest it in your health. And then invest it in your children's health. And the whole family will be happy and healthy. And nobody will know that you are not spending on medication anymore. except yourself. You'll see. So I've been doing that and I love it. And I also love the fact that from connecting the dots, I've started a brand called Simply Healthier. That's the name of my brand. And now I do a lot of teaching on Zoom. Last night, I had a teaching called, it's a series that I started quite recently for the over 60s, because that's my age group now. And it is called 60 something. So for people who are 60 something or approaching 60 something or way past that, are welcome to just come and learn a few things. And I think the uptake is beginning to pick up. It will be good. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So thank you for listening to my long story. My children are now adults. I've got 2 delightful grandchildren. We all use Near Life products and are blessed and really glad that somebody picked up the phone and invited me. Thank you.
Wow. I believe everybody here has gotten something. Thanks so much, Daktari. It's exciting to listen to a doctor, a medic, who is telling you that your detergents could be killing you. And I believe that all of us have something to share. Most people are having allergies. Most people are having, I discovered even fibroids for women could be as a result of the detergents people are using. And I've learned a lot from Daktari. He teaches, when she comes to teach us about detoxification, she doesn't just talk about detoxification in the body. She also talks about detoxifying the environment. So please make sure that you're always on this call, because next time you might find more from Daktari. Thanks so much, Daktari. We cannot pay you enough. And imagine that she's in South Africa. What a business, that you can be everywhere and you can actually be all over the world doing the same thing together. And we really do appreciate your knowledge, your sacrifice. And yes, I'm level 6 with you. And I know that being level 6 is a blessing, and we want to live healthier and to share with more people and tell women that you can be level 6 and still look beautiful and look happy, not miserable, because it's a blessing to be level 6. God bless you, Daktari. And now we want to go to a very exciting moment. Just chill there, because the lady who is coming to speak to us, I can tell you, you cannot afford to miss this lady's story. Because this lady came in the other day, I saw her coming in, and she just an excited leader. They have just, together with Dr. Eseza, have just come from Mauritius for a lifestyle. And I don't want to preempt what she's going to tell us, what she's going to share with us. Grace, are you there? Please show up so that we can give you all the time that is remaining and you close for us this meeting. And because I will not come back here after she has spoken, I want to thank you all who have been in attendance. And we are all learning. And may God bless you. May you go and apply the little things that we have learned today. God bless you. So Grace, I'm waiting for you.
Hello, Anne. Can you hear me?
I can hear you and I can see you looking very beautiful. Karibu sana, take it up.
Asante sana. Thank you so much to our great leaders, Anne and Dr. Eseza. You are great leaders. You have inspired my journey of success, and I'm so happy to be associated with you. Thank you, Fred Gishuki and Lydia, for sharing, giving us this platform to share our story. My name is Grace Chege. I'm doing this call from Nairobi in Kenya. I'm a mother and I'm married to Caesar, my business partner. 10 years ago, I got an invite to attend this meeting. Professionally, I'm a HR, so this business got me in the office. I was employed, and since I left school, all I knew was employment. I had never done any business. The New Life opportunity came to me, and I always say it's a God-given opportunity. So life was good for me and my husband. I got married young, and I got a job when I was, very young. I didn't tarmac. I always say that many people tarmac. I didn't tarmac, and I started practicing, and life was going on very well. But 2 years, before 2 years in our marriage, my husband started having a headache, and from one point to another, it became complicated. We even went to India for treatment. He was diagnosed with Meniere's condition, and he was told his nerves are not working. For me, that was a language I didn't understand very well, because as a HR and me as Grace, I've never gotten to a point where I've handled such a sick person. He developed high blood pressure. He developed mild stroke. And when we talk about health, especially in your life, we say that your greatest wealth is in your health. For me, I really relate with that, because day by day, things changed for us. Life became unbearable. And especially remember, I was working, my husband was doing well in his business. But guess what? His businesses went down. I became the only breadwinner. I had to take him to the hospital. I want you to look at me. 2 years in marriage, very young. I got married at my 20s, going to hospital, to Kenyatta, to Nairobi Hospital, all the hospitals you know here in Kenya. And the doctors were telling me from one doctor to another. I remember the first doctor I saw, a neurologist. He told me this problem is big, and Grace, unfortunately, you have to keep going. But sometimes the nerves will die. And, I know your husband is a young man, but these things happen. So for me, things never started very well, even in my marriage. I encouraged myself. I got support from my family, especially my mother. I am so proud of my mother, and I'm happy this platform is for women today. So I also thank God for my employer, because at that time, sometimes I was going to work late. Sometimes I miss jobs. I miss going to work because I have to take my husband to the hospital, clinics, and all that. Through that time, that is when I got an invite to attend a New Life meeting. Say, God is such, he matches everything. For me, I always say that this opportunity got me at the junction of my life. When you are at the junction, you're wondering, do I go east or west? That is where I was. So I was a bit stubborn. When I got an invite, I was just looking at the phone and I was saying, this teacher, I knew the teacher who was inviting me. Then I said, okay, these people now, maybe they're calling me. Today, I want to tell you, I'll talk about the mindset. The mindset can kill you. I had such a poor mindset because look at where I was. Already broke. Already we were struggling with bills. What was there for me to be conned? It was just the mindset. So eventually, after 6 months, and I'm saying this because we have distributors on this call, be persistent when you're inviting people. After 6 months is when I showed up in a meeting at the Hilton. I will never forget. Actually, I always remember even the way I was dressed, because it is really, really God that changed my life that day. Guess what? That same day, I was going for that meeting so that I leave the meeting in 10 minutes, 15, so that I go to Westlands and take lunch. But I never took lunch. I listened through every speaker. For me, they talked about health. Remember, my husband was in the house sick. But when they talked about money, the financial empowerment, and I saw people that were doing this business on part-time, I got encouraged. I said, wow, if these people are doing it, I can also do it. My greatest fear was time. I was wondering, where will I get time, because I'm still employed? I started off my journey. That same day, I became a distributor. In less than 2 weeks, the month was closing. I became a senior manager. That was in the year 2014, in the month of February. So this February 2024, I celebrated 10 years in this great opportunity. I started training, because for me, the greatest thing, I say I'm a product of training. And I had very little time. I've told you my challenge was time. A sick husband, a 8 to 5 job, very committed in the office. So for me, I said, if this is the way to change my finances, I'm going to do it. Why? Remember, as I was getting married, I had dreams. I had this, the way I was imagining our life will be with my husband. But after he got sick, everything went down. But I saw hope again when I saw New Life. In 7 months, I became a director. And my first check was over 500 US dollars. That is over 50K Kenya shillings. And I said, wow, I remember the pain that we had of debt was too much. We had small debts, big debts, and sometimes, I was like, the salary is coming, we are behind with rent. And I'm saying this because I have seen people struggling, yet they're employed. So as the new life check came in, I started believing in this opportunity. I started putting in more time. My friends, it was not easy because imagine I go to work. Instead of Friday coming home, I take the next easy coach to Kisumu. I go to different counties. So I come on Sunday evening. My son was very young, about 3 years. And on Monday, I'm expected to work. But let me tell you, to be where you want to be, you got to pay a price. When you get into the supermarket, you pick everything, but at the counter you pay. So I was committed to paying the price because in the training I started realizing the people who are training, the people who are doing the basics are the people who are progressing. In 11 months, we became SAFA directors and things changed. Things changed completely because we started earning over 80,000, over 100,000. And let me tell you, my husband saw this opportunity. I want to say this. Anne, can you hear me? Anne, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. I thought that you could not hear me. I want you to take you back to the pain of going to India, the pain of medication. It's okay, the doctors did their best. But let me tell you, these products have helped my husband overcome his health challenges. Blood pressure was something he was told by the doctors he's going to live with it, the medication and all that. But guess what? Day by day, taking garlic allium, omega salmon, our wonderful products, 3NN, his nerves were a complication because the doctor said when we were coming back from India, your husband, Grace, will never drive. He cannot coordinate such things. But today he can drive from here to Mombasa because we have vitamin B complex, we have the best products. And I can tell you, day by day, he was taking, by the time we were coming back from India, he was taking about 8 tablets in a day, the neurobines and different tablets. But today he's not taking any. I just want to tell all of you, clap for our wonderful, wonderful products. But I told you we joined for money. My husband had not seen the money because our first check from 1,400, he was like, no, there's no money here. And I was away for most of the time when I was developing the team. But let me tell you, when he realized the check of the director, he started supporting me. When we became world team directors, we started traveling together. I can tell you, the travel has not just made me happy. The travel has brought back every dream. Actually, I was telling somebody in Mauritius last week, it's like God has wiped away every tear, every pain I have gone through. I can tell you the biggest thing apart from the money. Today, we are earning over 3,000 US dollars for the last 3 years since I became a Turubi director. So the money is there. And from 2014 to 2019, 6 years, I did this business on part-time. From 2019, in the month of September, I resigned. Imagine, as you look at me, I'm not employed. I left that position for somebody else. The believability of this business giving me financial freedom and time freedom. A lot of people in the employment world, in professional, especially women and men, they don't have time freedom. Tomorrow is a Monday, but I'm going to wake up at 9 if I want. But tomorrow, many people going to work will wake up at 5. Time freedom. And the greatest beneficiary of my time freedom is our son, our relationship, our marriage. So today, the greatest thing I've also achieved is impacting lives. Today, Team Power International, my team is across over 10 countries. When I look at my income every month, I'm paid from different currencies. I always ask, what if I said it's hard? What if I said I have a sick husband? What if I said I am broke? What if I said I don't have time? I'm going to do it later. I tell you, financial freedom has caused us to invest in property, And even in gifting ourselves, in the second year in this business, we bought our first car. Let me tell you. For me, maybe you can say, Grace, just a car. It was just a real excitement for me to have our own car. Yani kuacha kuingia matatu. For those who don't understand, matatu is public transport. Last year, we were able to buy our machine, 3 million car. 4-wheel. And it's the best car I love. It's wine red, CX-5. Let me tell you, for me, these are dreams that could not have come true. Actually, for me, some things I was just seeing in the magazine, but God has made them a reality for me. And not just for me, I've seen in my team, people driving, people building homes. I can tell you, I came on Tuesday from Mauritius. I just rested 2 days. And I was in the Rift Valley building this business. I was as far as Kitale yesterday, but I'm here with you. Why? Because I am passionate about people. When you empower more people in this opportunity, things change. As long as you're empowering people, you are going to change your life. I remember our first travel was in Sun City in 2015. That tells you what? As a guest, you don't have to stay 10 years like me to travel. I traveled the first year, Sun City, South Africa. 2017, we went to Cape Town. We are going back again there next year. Mauritius, the first time I went to Mauritius is when we were celebrating 60 years. In 2018, I was still employed, my friends. And I was like, this employment is tacky. If this is the life, me, I'm going to stick to new life. In 2019, we went to Abu Dhabi. And the same 2018, I remember I went for Ruby orientation at the Santon Sun. And let me tell you, to enter flights for me and my husband, no, it was very far from us. 2021, we went to Dubai. 2022 in Durban. 2023, we were in Turkey last year. And last week, we were in Mauritius. Let me tell you, in Mauritius, we got recognition for doing this business consistently. Let me tell you, when you are out to support people with your whole heart, you are going to see that your dreams are going to be actualized. But my journey, in closing, has been a journey of believing. I came and I believed in this opportunity. I believed that I can do it, despite the pain I was coming from. I had to choose to believe first because my husband was not believing. I have seen people come to the business meetings and they go ask other people, can I do it? Let me tell you, it is your life. Apart from belief, you need to commit. I had to commit my time, even when I had very little time. Today, our son is 13 years. And I looked at him the other day and I said, he has turned 13. I joined when he was 3 years. Glory to God. So you can do it. It doesn't matter the pain you are in. Look at me today. I am taking my husband across the world. And look at how our journey was. Problems after problems. Getting sick. Today we are world travelers. Today our family. I always tell people, when you're out there, your family will always love you. When you don't have money, sometimes your opinion will not count. I have seen our family postpone events because we are not there, because they have begun to value us. I tell people, maskini haina starehe. So come out here. We are going to support you. I've gotten support. I'm truly grateful to Isaac and Purity, my sponsors, my upline directors, because they told me, Grace, you can do it on part-time. They encouraged me. They journeyed the journey with me until today. We have been traveling the world together. And I'm so grateful to Purity and Isaac for changing even my mindset. The greatest thing today I want to tell you, from where you are to where you want to be, it is you to make a decision. The world is full of people who are succeeding because they have made decisions. I made a decision to take Neo Life seriously. I put in time, I put in my money, I put in all my commitment. The commitment to support people. Today I have world team directors. I have directors, many, across Kenya, across other countries. I'm so proud that this opportunity of Neo Life has given me the international perspective, because today I'm an international business builder. The possibility that as a woman that I can change my life, as a married woman, as a woman, and even someone out there to tell other people it's possible. I want to tell you, go all in, all in. I've seen distributors, they are here today. Tomorrow they are not doing this. You're not doing the basic. Go all in. Commit your mind to it. Actually, the year is very young. We are going to Cape Town. Next year, as we go to Cape Town, please be there. Let me tell you, traveling the world is fun. And not just that, the luxury of life, the luxury of financial empowerment. People left Kenya on the 11th, but me and my husband, we left earlier on the 8th. Why? Because of the financial freedom. We went earlier to spend our money, to relax. Because this company gives you time freedom, financial freedom, and it has happened not just to me, but my amazing team and many friends just like Anne and Dr. Eseza. Tonight, I just want to tell you, you can change. It is never too late. We are here to support you. The New Life opportunity is real, and it is going to give you more than you came for, just like me. And this evening, I just want to wish all of you a good evening. We are here to support you. Let's do it. Let's do it, men and women, the youth. We can all do it, and have a good evening.
Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. So perhaps Grace would say that for all the guests, turn to the person who has invited you on this call and ask for more information. And now with the digital age, it is even easier than ever before for people across borders and across the towns and far away and close to you to get started. So don't hesitate, ladies. I keep on saying that we hold the health of nations in our hands. So I guess, I hope I'm not talking out of turn, but I suppose on the 6th floor we can do this. Let's do this, make nations healthy. Don't be afraid to go to your local councillor or your MP to share in your life. They need it. Anne, back to you.
We are true friends, and thanks so much, Dr. Eseza, Grace, Lydia, Fred. We really do appreciate for giving us your time. And because we had finished the session, I believe you have learned something that you can take home. May God bless you. Have a fantastic evening. See you later. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. For those who are interested in starting a business, we are going to have a wonderful presentation by our leader, Pascal. You can join us. And if you want more information about our business, please get in touch with the person who has invited you so that you can get more information, and even you will get the link for tomorrow. God bless you and have a fantastic evening.